Akademiks, check it out now. Listen, Lil Pump has signed a 360 deal with Warner Brothers Entertainment. If you guys don't know, I will let y'all know this. Okay, I heard from a birdie a couple months ago that Lil Pump has signed, like towards the beginning of this year, either last year, to an indie label for 30 racks. Okay, that was his advance for that label. Now, I'm not too sure if he was either bought out or maybe it was somehow merged or there's a joint venture in place, but now he's not on an indie, he's on a major label. Warner Music Group is a major record label. Now, here's the thing. We get to find out the terms of his 360 deal. Now, you might be alarmed by the 360, and we're going to talk about why it's a 360. And I could tell you off top it's a 360 because the label is going to make a cut off of his merchandise sales. And even though it's not stated by TMZ, I could imagine they're going to make a cut off his shows and his, like, tours. So anytime he performs, anytime they sell a merch for, like, Gucci Gang or anything with his face or name on it, the label will take a piece of that. Now, here's the other terms of the deal, because he got cut a $345,000 advance as soon as he signed, which means that was the money to make his album, his first album, which is called Lil Pump. And if you're wondering why he got that or what it's supposed to do, well, if he got to travel from state to state or he has to bunker up with a bunch of people because that's his crew and he makes music when they're around and he got to eat, he got to feed a bunch of people, house a bunch of people, he got to pay producers, all these things, it's going to come out of his advance, okay? So they gave him that advance. Do I think his album took that amount to make? No, I really don't think it took that amount to make, which means if the label already recouped what they loaned him with $345,000 in advance, they're already start looking at profit, okay? And that gets into the royalty situation because apparently he's going to be getting a 15% royalty on sales of that particular album. And if you're looking at the sales and success of Gucci Gang, they're probably already recouped and they're just dealing with profit, okay? But here's the thing. This deal is for 5 albums, okay? Which means there's an option to continue the deal each and every time he drops his last album, okay? So Warner Brothers, they realize he's flaming hot now. They probably already chose to continue with the next option. They're going to give him another huge check to make the next album, probably $300,000 or $400,000. He's going to make the next album. If that's good and he's still hot, they're going to give him another check to make the other album. Now, there's a 5-album deal, which means they want 5 albums out of it, okay? Apparently, if he gets to the last album, he'll get over $500,000 in advance, so congrats to him. But let's talk about a 360. Now, here's why a 360 might help out Lil Pump. If we're thinking that Lil Pump is not only 17, which he may not have the opportunity or may not have the people around him to go get these business deals, these commercials, even though he doesn't look like the guy who is being fit for commercials with all the wild antics he's been doing. And by the way, I'll point out to you, ever since he signed to Warner, he has not been shooting outside the window anymore. He hasn't been getting head randomly from all type of thoughts on Instagram. He's been cooling down because he's kind of trying to clean up his image a little bit for these endorsements, okay? Now, the label is going to be responsible for setting those up because they're getting a cut of that too, okay? But for Lil Pump, if his career, let's say it's only going to last like 4 years, we're just speculating. If it only going to last for 4 years, you want to get all the money you can in the 4 years rather than just be independent and you miss out on the bags. Even though it's a 360, it doesn't mean you would get more money independently because when it's a 360, now you got a big company that could leverage a lot of relationships. They're going to be working their ass off trying to get these bags and these checks that you could get. And even though you're getting a portion of it, sometimes it might play out better than being independent. Now, if he had a long, fruitful 10, 15-year career in front of him, I would probably say he should stay independent, at least for the first 5 years or so, okay? Or first 10 years until they give him such a big check and he doesn't want to do as much work and you basically pass off the responsibilities to the label. But for Lil Pump, this is what they're offering most of these guys, 360 deals. They're going to give you a 360, which is going to include everything, touring, merch, and all of that. So we'll see what happens, okay? You never know. They might get this nigga in a commercial, in a fucking movie. They might be pushing his shit beyond how they're pushing a regular artist. And that's the way that Lyric Cohen kind of explained his 360 deal to everybody in the industry, which means the label's going to go harder for you when they realize they're making money with everything you do, not only through music, because a lot of times these niggas make more money on merch or from their tours than they actually make from music. But if the label realizes they're making money with you throughout the whole process, they go in 10 times harder. Again, for an artist like Lil Pump, it might not be an automatic L, but it's definitely something worth noting that he signed a 360. He's getting these big advances, but I hope he has a great accountant, a great lawyer, who has made sure he's going to get his proper due. Get in the comment box, you guys like them, subscriber. It's a lot of business shit, man. Come up.